All right, so we're here again for another edition of The Climb. And ladies and gentlemen, we have one of my best friends, Alex Yardley. Welcome him here. How we doing?
Thanks, buddy. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people may know Alex, from where we have grown up on the eastern side of the United States, but he's out west,
Mhm.
living himself a great life. And I got to thank you, Alex, right up front for being, part of my team and being one of those people to flock to my side in need. So I appreciate that, pal.
Of course, man. I love you so much, man, and happy always to help you, man.
The feeling's mutual, and I think why I wanted to have you on here right now is you've been really focusing on your well-being for 6 months, almost a year, even probably even longer, and you've really adapted these traits and habits that have kind of pushed you through kind of feeling the way you do now. And I wanted you to share with everyone what you're doing, maybe,
Mhm.
how you're feeling in the past, what you're feeling now, because any little tip may work for someone and help them thrive as much as you are. So,
Yeah,
with that being said, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd that doesn't know you?
yeah. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Alex Yardley. Maybe you know I have an identical twin brother, and so sometimes people know both of us. Yeah, I've lived out here, like you said, in LA, just coming up on 5 years now, and
Ooh, wow.
coming from the East Coast, Newtown, where we're from, definitely like a transition period, and definitely took some time to get used to a new culture and a new city and just a lot of new people. And so that took a lot of different tools and a lot of good habits that needed to be created, and just learn those through sort of trial and error and having some bad days where I'm like, something needs to change. I
Sure.
need to figure out how best to navigate my new outer world where I'm living, and then also my inner world of how I'm reacting to this new environment and how I'm reacting to these new people, this new culture, and everything like that. So yeah,
Wow.
I've been out here for about 5 years. Pursued stand up comedy, and then now I am an RBT, so a registered behavioral therapist. So that's a little bit of my background and where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I know. Just because you're my best friend, I know a lot about your background. But you have done a lot of things and have moved around quite a bit. And one thing I know about LA is it's more of a beast than Philadelphia we have
Yeah,
behind
yeah. There you
here.
go.
And you briefly talked about that, but maybe kind of share how that was like for you because I know other people's like new scenery and new places and mostly changes in life are really hard for people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of cities you would have a similar experience to what I've had, just because you're coming up with a high population of people. And so when people are seeing each other more and more and they don't know each other as much, especially in a place that's so transient like LA, where people come in for a couple years and then they leave, or they come from all over the place. And then the locals that live here and the people that live here all the time, I think, develop a sort of indifference towards certain people because, it's like, how long are you going to last here in this city?
Yep.
And so if I put my emotional, if I spend emotional time with you, then how long is that really going to last, right? How long are these
Yeah.
relationships going to last? So building relationships in a place where people are constantly moving around can certainly be difficult. And so I think that was something I had to almost relearn. That I felt like I was pretty good at making friends
Sure.
and sort of developing a community. But just had to do that again because, like you said, I've done a lot of different things. I'm very much a person that likes to try a lot of new stuff. I like to do it rather than just learn about it.
Mhm.
I'd like to learn by doing, and so I've tried a lot of different careers, and I've also tried a lot of different ways to live. So being on
Yeah.
the East Coast, being in Arizona for a while, and then now being here in LA. So yeah, I think the toughest part is building that community in a
Mhm.
place where community can be indifferent towards the influx of new people. And I think that's similar in a lot of cities, not just LA.
Yeah, I think it's so huge, the part of community. I mean, just the fact that Team Garbo is called Team Garbo is because of the community aspect of, my recovery and in general living with bipolar disorder.
Mhm.
So I think that's huge, and I think you're probably doing it in the hardest city to do it. And
Yeah.
kudos to you. You
Mhm.
certainly have made it there,
Mhm.
and I think you either said it to me before, or you just said it just now, but you just said, I'm trying a lot of things, I do a lot of things, but
Mhm.
you've also told me you failed, and
Mhm.
that you've failed, and from those failures you've learned where you need to go, and you're not scared to fall down because you've always picked yourself back up. And it
Mhm.
just seems like we're in a day and age that maybe people are kind of afraid to go outside their comfort zone and take that risk. So I mean, I think that's a huge hat off to you, for taking those risks and always kind of pushing yourself to go forward, but realizing what comes with it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I just to add to that, I think a learner's mindset is important in life, or a growth mindset, which is what you do great with Team Garbo. Is like it's a constant climb, right? It's a constant climb. It's a constant like growth or like learning process to not only yourself, but just in order to operate throughout life. I think if you continue to grow, you're best served not only in the skills that you develop along the way, but also in your temperament, in how you are as a person. Because it's like progress is it's like the hope of progress that you're giving yourself each and every time you are putting in the work.
Hmm.
So I think that's an important part of no matter what you do, whether you're transitioning to a new city, whether you're transitioning into a new job, or whether you're in the grind and you've been in the grind for a while, finding novelty in places where typically you're seeing a lot of redundant environments and behaviors and stuff like that. Where can you find pieces of creativity to spark that imagination to keep kind of growing in a different way?
Definitely. I mean, that's just so true. Everything you're saying, and I can't not think that you got some of your ways from being a high school athlete, an all-star
Mhm.
high school athlete, might I add, for Bucks County, and that's awesome because I
Mhm.
can tell some of the things you're putting to play are things you've been doing for a while now,
Mhm.
and it's great. It's great to hear. And I honestly have heard over the past years or two, us talking, some of these well-being habits have been put into overdrive, and I want you
Mhm.
to maybe share a little tidbit of what you've been doing in the past 6 months, 12 months,
Mhm.
whatever it is, to carry on this spirit that you have,
Mhm.
but add to what you already have a great foundation of for growth.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I mean, because I found a lot of successful trials and tribulations. So I found a lot of successful different tools and practices. I would say the one that's really been a game changer for me, I have to thank my brother for tipping me off to this app. Um, I- it's great. It's like a gratitude journal. So every morning I'm doing gratitude, and it sort of gamifies it in a way. I enjoy video games a lot. I enjoy that type of creation of a game in that way, and those goals and regiments of your streak. How many days in a row have you done your gratitude journal? And once you start building up this streak, it's great. So each morning, it's a little bit of things you're grateful for, things you want to accomplish that day, just a couple
Mhm.
things,
That's awesome.
and maybe even some affirmations, or what are some things you want to keep front of mind
That's awesome.
throughout the day, whether that's be productive today, or whether it's like a weekend and you're like be patient with yourself and try to find peace that day. And just as a reminder, so you come back to it, and then it typically prompts you in the evening for how did today go? Did you do well? Did you accomplish what you wanted? And it's a great way to just sit down with yourself and take sort of a litmus test, or take an inventory of, okay, these are my small goals to myself, that it was just me first thing in the morning, and it's like that. I think it's important that it's in the morning because it's that sweet spot before you like look at Instagram or look at any other
Mhm.
thing. That's why it was a game changer for me because it was an app and I was already reaching for my phone because of the bad habit, right? And I instead of going to one of those outlets, going to a place where I can be with myself and have that sort of like first few like hour to 30 minutes of your awake, just be completely present into like setting my mind up for the day. What is my mind going to be like today? And what am I already waking up with? Is it sort of anxiety about my day? Is it maybe a rumination of the past? Am I thinking about something that went wrong years ago? Noting it and noting what is happening, and then allowing that to go, being like, okay, this is what's happening. Speaking of tools, the gratitude sort of lends itself to like just meditation.
Sure.
I'm not as consistent as I'd like to be, but I would say at least 3 to 5 times a week, I'm sort of doing at least a 10 to 20 minute meditation. And a lot of that is just noting, like just trying to observe my mind and be more conscious of sort of uncover the subconscious and make it more conscious so I can see like peel back the layers of okay, what's happening underneath, and focusing on that has allowed me to change it and rewire it, and then rewire it to the gratitude of everything I'm thankful for in my life and everything that I would like to accomplish that day, and it
Yeah.
allows me to let go of some of the ruminations. But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And kudos to Jake for sending that out to you. But from what I can hear, and it's something that I try to say to everyone, is change one thing and it'll change everything. And for you, that one thing seems like you were probably trying a lot of things and doing a lot of things, but
Mhm,
the one thing was I'm not gonna miss doing this app. I'm not gonna break the chain. I'm gonna do this
mhm,
app every single morning, day by day, which is something I say a lot.
mhm,
And it seems like that has had such a big impact because, like you said, now you have this gratitude app that you keep in these habits. You see
mhm.
that you're getting rid of thoughts. You're meditating. All of this is because you did one thing,
Yeah.
and it's not like you have to make over your home and change everything for a full makeover in
Mhm.
one day. All it takes is just one thing, and that is going to be a positive reaction. And as you know, you've done it yourself. So, man, kudos to you. That's so great to hear. And what's that app? Why don't you give them a free shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'm going to look it up right now. I went dark for a second.
Go
And
ahead, go dark. This is for people to find the brightness that are in the
yeah,
dark right now.
so it's like I'll explain the logo here. So it's called Mindset, and it's like a little like pyramid. It's sort of yellow, and it looks like, almost like a sunshine behind a pyramid.
Mm. Or
But
maybe
yeah,
like it's a mountain,
yeah,
like
almost like a
everyone's got to
mountain. Yeah,
climb up, or
it's a triangle. So I mean, interpret it how you'd like. Up,
whatever
up.
you want it to be. That's
Yeah,
great.
beauty of the beholder, right?
Cool. So, Alex, I mean, we should go on more, in a later date because I feel like you have so much to offer everyone that's viewing out there. But if you had one tip or takeaway for someone, 30 to 60 seconds, what would that be?
Sure. I think 30 to 60 seconds for the demographic that probably watches here. I'm going to try to think about the audience here. Is
Go
probably
ahead.
around our age, maybe early going into early 30s. My tip would be patient with yourself, because even though we have experienced a lot of life, we still have a lot of life to live, and there's still a lot in front of us. Even though we're sort of farther and farther from our traditional sort of schooling experiences, be patient with yourself and continue to grow and build on that. And it's okay if you take a step backwards. Sometimes that's the beginning of taking 3 to 4 steps forward. So yeah, be patient would be my advice, and yeah.
Love it, man. That is great. Well, listen, thanks everyone for viewing. Please like, subscribe, share, whatever it is. The
Please.
whole goal is so people don't struggle maybe as much as I or maybe Alex has in the past. And this video could help someone. So thank you, Alex. Love you, brother. Appreciate it. And I look forward to having you on again.
Oh, love you, buddy. Thank you so much. This was a blast. I can't wait to do it again. So, subscribe to The Climb, everybody.
Do it. All right. Thanks, everyone.